Welcome to Grow Your Strength. This is week 6 of the 6 weeks that I run the same-ish program. So next week will be a new routine. I like to start the training with some breathing practice, whether you choose to lie face up or face down. Just find yourself a comfortable position. You can even do this in sitting. It's always good just to integrate the breath to the body and the movement ahead. So just take a few slow breath cycles, trying to relax in through the neck and shoulders, adjusting anything through the low back so everything feels right, relaxing the arms and legs. I'm trying to get my breath nice and deep so it's not just to the belly, but to the sides, to the back, to the hips, pelvis, privates. As you breathe in, it expands, and as you exhale, there's a recoiling as the air comes out. Inhale, expand, exhale, recoil. So it's a nice way to get started. I'll take us into reverse tabletop next. So just lying on your back if you weren't already. Take the knees and float them over the hips. So this would kind of be a little easier. Try not to do that. Try to sort of sense that your knees are floating right over your hips and that your feet are relaxed. Same with the arms. As you extend them up, anchor in the shoulders and shoulder blade connection gently into the floor. Keep the hands relaxed as well. I can roll my head side to side and keeping this connection so my low back is connected, not jammed flat, but I can feel the abdominal muscles here working. Now, if this is enough of a challenge for you, then just leave it here and do some more breathing here. Here's the rest, okay? Here's the reset, and then to increase the challenge, you can go into some diagonal reaches, perhaps turning your head and looking at the hand that's going overhead, and just trying to take some time to not let this happen with that knee, because that would just definitely make it easier. You can almost tell that from the sound of my voice changing. And now I'm just doing a little egg roll side to side, chin tuck, reestablish my best position through this 4 box. And then let's try a little wider a reach with some shorter diagonals. So you can just play with these. Any of these options are going to give you a challenge to keep your 4 box connected. Once you've challenged yourself enough, you don't want to put any pressure in through your back. You just pull your knees in to your shoulders and take a moment to rest there. So after you've done 2 or 3 resets for activating those core muscles, we'll take a stretch strap and start to work the knee flexion and extension. Just taking some time to level out your hip posture, check that your leg is straight, chin tuck, and then I just pull my knee in, give myself a little stretch, and back to the fully extended position. I always like to remind folks not to hyperextend their knee, so you don't want to lock your kneecap. Find a place, whether you have to back it off or not, to fully extend and get all the tissues through the back side of your leg at length. After about 5 of those, you start to just isolate the ankle by taking some time to pull the toes to the shin and then push the toes up towards the roof, pulling the heel down. Rolling the sole of the foot in and out, nice and slow. Taking some time to circle around, really trying to get some stretch in through the back of my knee, That works well when I do it slow. And then switching direction, a couple of circles. And then we'll switch sides. Okay, so I'm just lining myself up again. That posture. Knee hug, fully extend, check that everything's straight. Yep, good. Taking some time to pull that leg out again. Here we go. The ankle work. Rolling the sole of the foot in and out. Angles. And some circles. Very nice. I'm gonna take us to sideline hip cars next. So just lying onto your side. Take some time to roll that top hip a little bit more forward so your bottom hip's tucked under. And then we can lift the top leg and start to circle the leg around, freeing up the hip, exploring the range of motion you can access. Try to keep my feet relaxed and go to a range that I can control that doesn't feel funky or weird in any way. Nice deep breathing. Reverse direction. CARS is that acronym, controlled articular rotations. Articular meaning the joint, so there's a little CARS routine for every joint of the body pretty much. I learned through the functional range conditioning system, and this is one I like for the hip. Switch sides. Good to keep the insides healthy, work on the insides, the joint quality, what your range of motion is, so that when you do your strength training and you load up through a better range of motion, get good results from that, and also decrease the risk of injury. So that's a biggie, especially as I get older, little things creep up. Not just me, I notice this with my clients, and we don't want it to hold us back from our goals. So definitely don't want to get injured in the process of trying to get healthier. Just taking the time to slow things down and increase the quality of our insides before we load up is going to be a good recipe for success. Okay, half kneeling next. So take myself up onto one knee and just going to take some time to level out my hips and lightly tuck my back toe. You could leave your back foot flat or lightly tuck it, up to you. Tucked is a little bit more stress through the knee, but if your knee can handle it as you do some pulses forward, you do get an increased stretch response right up through the thigh and into the hip. So take a couple pulses, just tracking my knee over my midfoot, arms are relaxed. Reminder to go back to the deep breathing. After you've done a few straight forward, take that foot out on an angle and pull the heel in. So you can pulse the knee, get a stretch through the heel and ankle, depending on your ankle mobility. Some of you might find that this wants to lift here. Try to find a place where you can sink into that and give yourself a good stretch. Letting that foot come out a little wider now, do the same thing and get a little stretch a little deeper right in there. So just be mindful, breathe, try to create space in the hips. It'll make our bridges, our squats, and our hinges, everything a little better. Get to that part. Okay, and I'll do some shoulder cars. So as I bring my foot back in front, I just want to find a width that I feel stable. Take both my arms, spread my fingers, and I'm going to try and just bring my arms up, slowly mobilizing my shoulders. Get to a point where I have to rotate my palms back. So I'm just gonna push my hands back. Feel out the right shoulder, the left shoulder, and bring the hands up into the small of the back. Take a moment there. Maybe turn the head side to side. Recenter everything and then slowly rewind, opening up those fingers, shoulders. Good. Okay, so let's switch sides. Do the same thing. Did you tuck the back toe? Pulse this forward. It's nice, easy, gentle stretch. Doesn't have to feel too crazy. The time. Bring it up, pulling the heel in. Try and breathe through my nose, nice and deep. A little further, deeper. Front, let's get the fingers, we'll do the shoulder cars. There, I just got a little taller. I just kind of found my posture. Just bring the arms up, looking straight ahead. Let's feel through the shoulders, moving through pain. Pushing back. If you have a little painful spot, try and come out of it and work around it. Through it. Hands up into the small of the back. Go with the head side to side. So that's our shoulder cars, shoulder controlled articular rotations. I'm gonna grab a stretchy band and from a sitting position, do some banded rows. Take some time to check the tension and get the posture upright. As you pull back, elbows should finish at your sides. Here, not here. Here. So play with the tension. Just be a little more, walk your hands down. I'm going to pull back and pinch the shoulder blades together. And I can do a few rows where I just pinch and release. Last week I talked about the two-step option, a little bit more thought required. Hold the pinch between the shoulder blades, slowly release the arms, and then see if you can just get the shoulder blades to separate. Call that protraction. And then reset the shoulders and then row again. Work hard as you release the arms to keep the shoulder blades pinched together on both sides and then let them go. Focusing to release equally on both sides. Call that brain gym. Here we go. I'm just enjoying that strength through the back side of the posture, through the shoulders, but I'm not shrugging up into my neck. Being mindful that I'm not doing that. Excellent. Okay, finishing a set of those. Set reps are always approximate. What are you feeling? How much time under tension? Are you working the muscles? Are they getting a good amount of work so that you feel you've got some adaptation? We're getting away from saying this many reps. So try to feel it in your body. Double bridges for 6, and then we'll go into single leg for up to 15. So I've just said we're not doing rep ranges, and then I'm doing rep ranges. Oh, help me. It's one of those days. But we have to have a framework. We have to have a guideline. Here's my double bridge. Extending my hips up, making sure that I'm high enough that I have full hip extension, but not any higher than this that I would be arching into my back. So aligning the chin, making sure if you have a big low back curve, you're just decreasing that a bit. And then as you push into your feet, push the knees towards your toes. Here's the hip work right here. Okay. Now for the single leg, taking one foot off, floating the knee or hanging onto the knee and putting an arm over the rib cage. This can be a lot harder if you haven't done any of these. You want to work yourself up. It's like, okay, I feel like this is a little tight. I need to switch after 3. That's totally fine. And speaking of rep ranges, up to 15 is something I've been following with a podcast, Dr. Peter Attia's Centenarian Decathlon podcast. And because single leg bridges is a move that I've done in a lot of classes, this is why I've focused on this for this program. You can get to 15 any way that works for your body. You could do 15 on one side, or keep switching, leveling out, giving yourself a little rest. Up with control, down. Should feel the work coming from that single side. Hand over the rib cage just ensures that I'm not going up too far and flaring the rib cage and arching my back. Hand just loosely on the back of the thigh. This is a good idea. Everything just feels nice and lined up. Okay, so from the bridges, we'll come over onto hands and knees. I'll roll us through a little cat-cow. Taking some time to flex and extend your back. Nothing too extreme, just rounding your back up. And then slowly going through extension, dropping front side down, dropping the chest, pulling my shoulder blades together, gently looking up. Starting my low back again and just start to slowly bring myself through each vertebrae of my back. But one more time. Try to go a little slower. Feel out parts of my back that I might not if I was going faster. Excellent. The middle ground of that is your neutral back. Holding the neutral back, we'll take the opposite arm and leg off for a reach. You've got some options here. You can lightly tuck your back toes. You can reach just a little and see how stable you keep your shoulders and hips. Sometimes when people do this, you see dipping down or sagging through the rotation. So you want to focus on keeping the neutral spine, not letting your head drop. And also the breath. So can you maintain some nasal breathing in and out through different angles? Letting the fingers and toes drop to the floor. Going slow and controlled. It's a little harder. I'll do one more per side and then we'll come to standing. Old expression was speed hides need. So going fast, whipping through things with momentum and not just slowing it down and really getting some time to do the work here. All right, so here, as mentioned, we'll come to standing, grab a little water. It's been kind of warm here in Vancouver last few weeks, so lots of water breaks needed for coaching. Take the feet wide and just start to sit back into the hips and come back up. Yesterday I watered my garden about midday and just my planters on the deck. And there's always a little water that kind of spills around. And then I came in and I was working online on Zoom, sitting at the desk. And all of a sudden I heard these sounds like right at my door. And I turned around, there was 4 raccoons licking all the water droplets that had gone out of my planters. So that's how hot it is here. They were They were looking for water. They wasted no time. Some squats. And so then, of course, by the time I got up and tried to get a picture of them, they scoot away. I got the backside of one of them. Anyway, big raccoons. Big. Squats. Okay, now with the squat, you might not be realizing it, but you could be offsetting to one side a little bit. So just think about coming down nice and even. You can shift to the left and to the right and try to find and feel your center, and then come back up. So the squat, now the hip hinge, slide your hands down your thighs, your hips go back, and then come up, open up the arms, rotate the palms forward, get a little shoulder movement. And go ahead and do a few more of those to check my plan. Okay, so we've got some reverse lunge with reach. So I'm going to step back with my right foot. And then as I drop my knee, reach up with my right hand. Do about 3 of those. So step back right, reach up right. Just taking your time. If you don't drop the back knee as much as me, it's okay. It could just be a tap back with an arm overhead. It doesn't have to be full down. And let's switch sides. Step back left. Open hand. Balance work as you get those toes connected behind you. Okay, go back to side 1. Freeze and then rotate towards your front knee. Back to center, back up. Do 3 of those. Down, rotate. I'm holding my breath. Switching sides, we'll finish that off. Step back. Rotate. There we go. So a little bit of work on balance. I'm going to grab a ball for the balance challenge today. So taking a ball in one hand, finding a connection through the foot you're going to balance on. Now from here, just hinging to a place that you feel you can hold. If this is already too hard for you, then you tap the toe down and just track the toe so you've got a little bit of help, or you're near a piece of furniture. Okay, so tracking toe or off. Now you're taking the ball around. We'll go full circle, 1 in each direction. So now I'm switching direction, trying to be a little bit creative with the ball, slightly different angles. And then come back up to standing, switch your base foot. And we'll do this 2 times per side. So taking some time to reach out. Where can you hold? Nice deep breathing. Thinking about my foot. Got my toes nice and long and connected. A little bit more activity on this side. Coming back up. Activity just meaning the twitching of my foot. So 1 more time per side. Tap or off. Here we go. Balance challenge. Change the task. Pass the ball around. I like to do a little bit with eyes open, eyes closed. So taking yourself to that single leg balance again. Focus on something. Close your eyes. Open. Close. Open. We'll do this for about 20 seconds per side. Trying to Keep the eyes closed just as long as you can, then open. If you need to tap down and reset, and do. Try to open your eyes before you have to do that and recover the balanced position. Good, switch sides. Open and close, get a good connection through your foot. Find myself to open my toes. About 5 more seconds. Opening and closing my eyes. Good. Okay, well, we're going to get right into some strength work now. Curtsy lunges, alternating sides. Got some options. You can go with just body weight and follow along, or you could grab some dumbbells. Taking the foot behind, dropping the back knee a little or a lot, coming back up to posture and switching sides. It's working side to side. Return to some good deep breathing. Breathing in as you step back and down is going to help to stabilize you. So if you want to go that far and coordinate your breath, inhale down, exhale back up to posture. How does this weight feel? Is it going to give you a challenge or enough of a challenge for some adaptations? You could always say, no, that wasn't hard enough. Here we go, a little heavier. Do a few more repetitions. Perhaps go a little slower. What weights do you have available to you to do this kind of work with? You want it to be not too easy, not too hard, okay? Second exercise, we're gonna go with squat, slow countdown, up to 8 squats. Okay, I'll keep the heavier weights. Take the feet to your squat position, pass weights to the shoulders, and just inhale down here, exhale as you come up. Again, if you want to add that connection, I like to open up my toes, think about coming down nice and straight. Yeah. After 8 of those, put the weights down. We'll go for some balance reaches into the air, alternating sides. Take some time to extend the heel back to the wall behind you and the arms forward. I'm trying to keep my shoulders and hips level. Switching feet. It's just practice. Going through about 3 or so per side. If I reach for a piece of furniture, got a little feedback. Take my hands off. Back up to standing. A little harder can be having your arms overhead to start, and then thinking about moving your heel and your fingertips in the same plane. Lift and control back up. Here we'll go to push-up variations, whether you choose to go on a wall or an elevated surface, or take it down to the floor. You want to establish a high arm plank position. Spreading the fingers, stepping back, activating the hips a little. So if you're new to this practice, maybe this hold is where you're at. You could do a little mini, see how that feels. You could slowly lower yourself down to the floor. Even putting a pillow here works well. As you lower yourself to the floor, think about your shoulder blades coming together. And as you push away, there's a little bit of that separation. If you have a full push-up in your repertoire, you know how many you can do with good form, then just take this as an opportunity to do a set of push-ups. Often with push-ups, it can be very fatiguing, harder on the wrists. So I just take up to a 20-second break and then reset. Then say to myself, maybe I can get 1 or 2 more reps, or another breath hold, or another lower. You want to just keep building the practice. Okay? water break, and then we're gonna go back to the curtsy lunges. This time I'm gonna take slightly heavier dumbbells. And I'm just going to suss out how it feels. I'll show you from the side. As I step back, get control of my toes, I'm dropping my back knee. I'm trying not to go too far forward and stress my front knee too much. A little bit is okay. And if you just step across and that feels like enough of a dip, that will be great. Just want to work over time to getting a deeper range. That comes with practice, improved hip mobility. All starts somewhere, and then we just practice to get better. Here we go. See how now I've done enough reps. I can feel my heart rate coming up. I think that's a good amount of work. So I could go right into the squats, put the weights down and take a break. I do kind of get the idea of not being fixed on a rep range. You know, strength and conditioning research, though, has kind of always been around do this many reps for strength, this many if you want to hypertrophy or build your muscle, you know, this for endurance, this for tone, or, you know, and the truth is everything works for different reasons, but not knowing what weight you're trying to squat with and how hard it is, how many squats you've been doing at that weight, you just kind of have to be your own trainer and be thinking about that. I want to make some changes. I want to make some adaptations. I want this to not be too easy, but not be too hard either. Now for the balance, we've got some options here. You can do what we did. I'd reach to the air and to the fireplace. I can also take a weight and start to go into a weighted hinge, single leg balance, coming back up. So as I hinge, I'm trying not to go offset. Think about this foot that's going back, just nice and straight, drawing a line in the sand. Coming back up, finding your shoulder blades. 3 to 5 per side. As you hinge, be mindful that this isn't pulling you out of posture, right? So find your shoulder blade connection. Inhale. Practice your hinge. Back up. A lot going on through the hip, through the foot, through the core. This works a lot. Trying to go slow so I don't cheat. Okay, so let's do the push-ups and then I'll move us on to another set. So another set of push-ups. Where's it gonna be done? Is it a high arm plank? Maybe it's just here and you're just holding this position, perhaps a lower or a push-up. Find the number that you know you can do well. Take that wrist break if you want to. Punch out another rep or two. Nice slow lower. Bend the knees. Up. Time under tension. That is a great way. Just practice the lowers to get to the point where you can do a push-up. Okay, so next up we're going to do a farmer's hold. So ideally you have 2 weights that you're going to pick up on my cue. We're going to hold for 30 seconds and If that feels like too much, put the weights down. You can change the weights or just relax. Okay, so we'll start picking the weights up in 5 seconds. This is a hip hinge, so pick the weights up safely, hips back, anchor, and come up. Now I'm breathing in and out as deep as I can. Gripping, but not over gripping. Looking straight ahead. Not letting the weights control me. I'm controlling the weights. It's 20 seconds in. 25. And 30. Sitting the hips back. Putting the weights down, taking yourself into some slow S patterns. I want to start being able to hold higher amounts of weight, which is within our wheelhouse, so you don't go from 2 pounds to 16 kilograms in a short period of time. If you have no access to heavier weights in your home, I'm going to do this again. Try to build out some shopping bags with some old books or tools and have one in each hand or hinge and pick up in front of you like we would with one kettlebell. Okay, so that's ideas for the future. No matter what weight you have, this is time training your core, working up to percentages of our body weight. There we go. My knees aren't locked out. I'm opening up my toes, looking straight ahead. Halfway. 20 seconds. If you have to put the weights down, feel free to do that. And there's our 30. Slowly down. Okay, so nice time under tension for both of those. Let's go to our bent over row with one weight. So taking a weight in a staggered stance. Right foot back, right arm has the weight. Now I'm bringing the elbow up to the side, feeling some work in through my shoulder blade. 6, 8, 10 rep range. Remember, easy, medium, hard. Good. Switching sides, square up the posture, match the rep range. After you've done both sides, ideally take a weight in both hands. We'll do our 1, 2, 3 freeze. And just taking yourself into different positions, a little forward, a little to the side. Got the extra weight, extra 20 pounds as I load up my foot, ankle, knee, hip. We'll keep going. Bit of work with the bone density as you kind of land. 10 more seconds. And going into your last rest. We'll carefully put that weight down. We'll go into a weight of or a round of bicep curls, some shoulder work and tricep extension. So lightening up my weights, connecting with my feet. Here's some classic bicep curls, just closing the angle, pulling palms up. You can rotate different angles, across the chest, wide, hammer. Where's your easy, medium, hard today? Been on that all day. Squeezing. Couple more. Work the down phase, up phase. Letting the arms be loose. Some shoulder work. Bring the shoulders up. Back, can you feel that pinch? Down, forward, get a little stretch. Back up again. What about reverse direction? Up, forward, back. Very nice. Into a hinge position, some tricep extensions. Make sure this feels okay on your back. Otherwise, adjust your angles just a little. Keep those elbows at the side. And here we go. You change the angles just a little bit. Try to match the work that you did on the biceps. Good stuff. I'm going to take us back through our 1, 2, 3 freeze and our rope. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. If you feel really confident in this move, you could blink your eyes at the same time that you land, just to take that visual away for a second. Balance. 15 more seconds. Last one. Good. Stance. Square the shoulders. Breathe. Got the work done. Switch sides. Match your reps. Okay, so let's finish with a get up. I'm going to clear my space and put my other mats down. I was just kind of thinking about how this rep range conversation I'm having with you today, even though I'm kind of talking to myself, it's kind of the same as intuitive eating. You know, like listening to your body, not eating too much, so not exercising too much, not exercising enough, not eating enough. You see, it's how that getting in line with your goals. And so I guess there's some similarities there. But when we do too much and we're very fixed on a weight or a rep range, we can hurt ourselves. I know, as I speak from experience, and now when I'm really honest with myself, if my neck's a little tight, I don't want to drive anything overhead. I'm just trying to incorporate that kind of thought thinking into my training, and I hope you will too, because the benefits are going to pay off. So here's my get up. If you already know the get up and you're going to load it, then please do. I've got my right arm up, shoulder connected, right foot connected, knee bent, and we just take an easy roll to the elbow, making sure you're not in a shrug. Flatten the hand, come up. You can adjust the hand so that you feel you can lift your body through the hand and foot. If that doesn't feel right, then just micro adjust your hand, and then you've got the strength to lift up and come through to your knee. I like to sit into my hips and then come up to the half kneeling position. Then bring my front foot in line, tuck my back toes, show you there, right? And so then I can come up to standing. From this position, you always step back with the leg opposite to the hand in the air. And as you step back, you want to get control of your toes. So that sometimes takes a moment. Then a soft knee to land so you control down. And I'm just reversing the steps. I can take my front foot and open it up so that I've got room to put my hand down, anchor in my weight between my shoulder and this foot, so I can come through to my hip. No shrugging, down to my elbow, shrugging. Pull myself back down to the floor. So that's one side. I'll switch my body position. Left arm up, anchored. Could be holding a ball or a weight. Check that your rib cage isn't flared up. So we're aligning that core like we did in the beginning of the class for the reverse tabletop. Here's the elbow. Hand, I need to adjust just a little so that I can lift and come through with my knee. To this point, the idea is that you're kind of keeping your gaze on your up hand, and then when you do the hinge to the half kneeling, now you look straight ahead. Here's my adjustment of my front foot and my back toes. I'm going to lift with my legs so I'm not shrugging, kind of anchoring in my posture. Take a breath and stand up. Step back, leg opposite to the hand that's in the air. Get control of the balance. Come down. That gets you strong when you control the lower. Open that front foot. Hinge back to your hand. Take the weight between the hand and foot. Again, you're just repeating steps. Back down to the hip, to the elbow, and to the floor. Okay. This is a practice of getting up and down from the floor. Hope you can follow along. Rewind the tape if you want a few extra sets of the weighted work. And we'll see you next week. Thank you for growing your strength with me.